Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the psych coach, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to maintain the no contact rule. You may have seen some of my other videos about the no contact rule where I talk about the importance of it, why it's important, why you need to do it, the benefits of it. But of course, something that's really tricky is actually applying it and sticking to the no contact rule. Now, of course, it's not possible with all relationships to have no contact. For example, if you share children or pets. But this video is geared towards those of you who are trying to break contact with an ex-partner and who are struggling with maintaining the motivation to do it. I'll give you a few techniques taken from various elements of psychology and cognitive behavioural therapy that will hopefully see you through some of the trickier moments of wanting to make contact when you know you shouldn't. My first tip for maintaining the no contact rule is cravings imagery. Cravings imagery, rather like any impulse control condition, whether that's drinking or drug use or nail biting or overeating, is where you want to engage in something but you don't. Okay, instead you imagine your craving coming, reaching its peak like a wave, reaching its crescendo, and then it calms back down again. It's pretty well accepted that cravings come and go. The craving and the burning desire that you may have to make contact with your ex in a moment will not last. It will pass, and you need to ride that out. So using imagery where you visualize the wave coming and going back down again, using imagery where you visualize pressing a pause button and just tolerating the discomfort is going to really help you ride out that craving. That's essentially what it's about, riding out a craving. And if there are other times where you've experienced cravings for any other kind of impulse control and you haven't engaged with it, try and think about that and remember that you've been there before, you've done it, you've tolerated a craving, the urge has subsided, and you've got on with your day. So try and engage in cravings management. Alongside that, you need to engage in delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is where you tell yourself, if this urge is still really strong, in 2 hours' time, then I can consider acting on it. Then once that 2-hour mark comes, you can say to yourself, okay, is the urge really, really burning, or am I able to ride it out for another 2 hours? And you constantly delay the possible gratification that you're going to give yourself by messaging them. I use the word gratification loosely because of course it's not going to be particularly gratifying messaging your ex, because then you're going to be back into some kind of communication cycle where you're either waiting for a reply that you don't get, or you get a message that is a bit deflating, or you get a message back that's okay, but you're in the cycle of thinking, I shouldn't be back in this, I should be breaking away from them. So try and delay the gratification. If when I say, wait 2 hours feels too long for you and your reaction is 2 hours, I don't think I can wait 2 minutes, then delay the gratification for 2 minutes. See if you can eke it out, ride out the urge to contact your ex. And if you still feel it in 2 minutes, then try and delay it by another 2 minutes. The whole idea is you are stretching yourself to delay the contact for as long as possible. And every time you do that, you are reinforcing to your brain, just because I want to do it, I don't need to do it. I don't have to do what I feel like doing. And that brings me on to my third tip, which is recognizing that just because you want, you don't have to do it. It sounds pretty basic, doesn't it? But often we're led by this idea of, oh, I really want to do this. I really, really need to do this. I must have this. And therefore we make ourselves think, and therefore I must do it. I really want to have contacts with my ex, so therefore I must contact my ex. And that's simply not the case. Someone who's in recovery from an alcohol addiction may think, I really, really want to have a drink, but they don't have to have a drink. Someone who has got comfort eating issues, who engages in impulsive eating, may think, I really, really want to eat away my feelings, but I don't have to. And they may be able to walk away from it. So it's about you thinking, I want to do this, but I don't have to do it. That is so key. And again, each time you're able to think, I really want to make contact, but I recognize I don't have to, I don't have to. It's not my functioning isn't contingent on it. My self-worth isn't based on it. My ability to move on for the rest of the day isn't contingent on contacting my ex. Then you can free yourself of the shackles of thinking, I must make contact with them. I want, but I don't have to have. It's a basic principle, but one we lose sight of, especially when we're feeling compelled to engage in behaviours we probably shouldn't. Another technique that can be incredibly useful for reinforcing the no contact rule is accountability. Telling someone of your plan, I'm not going to contact my ex, and then saying, and is it okay if I contact you when I've got a really strong urge? By agreeing that there is someone else you can message when you're having a strong urge, you're going to take away some of the intensity of the desire to message. By calling up a friend and saying, I'm having a moment, I'm in a full-on craving to contact them, can you distract me through this, is going to be far more helpful than not telling anyone. So really try and leverage the friendship support you've got, if you've got it, and try and get your friends to act in the capacity of being able to support you when you need to be supported to stop messaging your ex. Friends are really valuable in that regard, and creating accountability and telling someone when you're experiencing a craving will take away some of the intensity. And the fifth point that I'm going to make about what you can do to try and avoid the urge to contact someone, your ex ideally, is distraction. Distracting yourself. If you're experiencing an intense craving to contact your ex, try and distract yourself with a task. Think to yourself, okay, I'm just going to watch a show that I like for half an hour. I'm going to bake some bread for the next 45 minutes. I'm going to make a drink that I like for the next 5 minutes. And distracting yourself and giving yourself something to focus on is going to reduce the intensity of the craving. Again, it's pretty well researched that when we give ourselves distractions and other things to focus on, it dilutes the cognitive intensity of what we are experiencing. That's made even more potent when we are able to actually do something with our hands, interestingly. If we're able to bake something, make something, do something that involves not just our brain but actually our hands that we have to focus on, it further reduces our working memory capacity. And the more our working memory capacity is taken up with an activity, i.e. a distraction, the less room we've got in our brains to focus on what we shouldn't be focusing on, which could be contacting your ex. So really try and engage in distraction and give yourself a task to do to try and help you ride out the craving of wanting to contact them. And like I say, if you can do something that uses your hands and engages more than just your brain, for example, just watching television, then you put yourself in even better stead for reducing the intensity. Now, these techniques aren't going to work for everyone. Maybe it's a case of taking one or two of the things I've said and applying them. But if you are able to apply all 5 of the techniques I've spoken about, you're really going to put yourself in good stead for reducing the contact you have with your ex, and of course sticking with the all-important no contact rule. Your recovery from heartbreak, your recovery from your relationship breakdown is going to be hugely helped by not having contact with your ex. Put this stuff into practice, let me know how you get on, and be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will give you plenty more tips on how psychology can help you in your day-to-day life.